I'm going to talk to everybody about situations. Took me a couple days to actually do this video because I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to call it, but I'm tired of prolonging it, so I'm just going to call it situations. Too often there's a lot of us, including myself, that will allow yourself to stay in a situation that is no good for you. Allow yourself to stay in a situation that is toxic and actually bad for your mental health and even your physical health. Too many of us are just settling. And when I say settling, it's not so much like on the dating level, like you settled for this person or you settled for that person. It's more of the situation we're in becomes our comfort zone, and we just ride it out because that's where we're comfortable. We're too afraid to see what else is out there, to take the next step, to, go from there. Too often I see it, and I'm starting to see it more and more, the where it kind of reflects back on me, and I'm like, makes sense. There's people out there, including myself, that will, because this is my comfort zone, I won't even attempt anything new. I won't even attempt, to try something new, to try a new food, to go somewhere new, because I have my comfort zones and that's where I stay. Lately, I've been pushing myself. I actually just got a new car. I love my car. My car is my big baby. But I forced myself. I said, you know what? I'm gonna keep continuing to try new things. So out with the old, in with the new. I have things about the new one I don't like, but I have things about my old one that I didn't like, and I got used to it. So I swapped that out. The people I involve myself with, my circle, as you would call it, I'm realizing more and more that a lot of them aren't even really truly good for me. They bring me down. When I'm around them, or I talk to them, or I hear from them, I instantly get in like this funk, or I instantly get in this bad mood, or I'm down and I'm depressed and that type of thing. So I'm eliminating people who no longer serve my highest good. People who make me feel a sort of way. I'm not in a rude way neither. I'm not doing it rudely. I'm not doing it ignorant. I'm just calmly removing myself from that situation. The contact with them is less and less. And, it's the same thing with places. We may go somewhere because that's what we grew up doing, or that's what we're used to. That's our favorite place to go. We need to go try new things. Just because we really like that place and we're comfortable with that place, go try new things. Get out there. Don't trap yourself in a situation because you think you have to. Don't put up with a situation because you think, oh, that's my best friend, I have to. Bullshit. You don't. When you start to notice the difference, that's when you're going to open your eyes a little further and further and further, and eventually your eyes are going to be fully open and you're going to recognize, okay, so this and that and this and that is no good for me, so I need to remove this, stop talking to that, don't go here, because if I go here, it instantly puts me in a bad mood, or it instantly brings me down, or I instantly want to cry. Just those type of situations. And you also have, your situations to where people's like, you take from them. You use them. This is the roles reversed. This isn't so much about you anymore. This is how you yourself are putting yourself out there as toxic. You're around this person because they can give you this, or you're around that person because they can give you that. That's not a cool thing to do, because what we put out there is what we bring in. So whatever energy we're putting out there, whether it's using somebody or taking advantage of somebody, all that energy is going to come back on you. Somebody's going to come in then and they're going to use you. They're going to take advantage of you. Or, oh, well, this person is amazing. They're there when I need somebody to talk to. Always good advice. They only want the best for me. They only want things that are going to make me happy. They only want me doing things that are going to keep me safe. But instead of choosing that person to be around, we choose to be around the one who encourages us to go out there and get crazy. The one who encourages us out there to go out and get in trouble. The one who feeds us drugs or feeds us alcohol, and that tends to be on the toxic situations that we are in. We become used to them. Our body becomes used to them. So that is our normal. For us, myself included, that becomes your normal. And that is not good. You have to break that cycle. You have to break that pattern. You have to break free of that. If it's no good for you, if the person's no good for you, and I'm not saying, treat them like an asshole, or I'm not saying tell them off, cuss them out, throw everything in their face. No, you don't have to do all that. Just quietly remove yourself from the situation. Don't go out of your way to send them 100 texts during the day. Don't go out of your way to call them 5 times in a row because they're not answering. Just simply remove yourself. Fall back and pay attention. Pay close attention to what your surroundings and who you're around when you start feeling a certain way. I have times where I'll go out in public and I'll be like, oh no, here comes an anxiety attack. And I pay attention to my surroundings, what I'm around, and who I'm around. And then usually I can pull myself out of it, because then I know up here, this is no good for me. Just be careful with what situations you put yourself into.